What's up guys, it's me, Mad Samurai 84 here for August edition of PS Plus Plays. We have 3 fresh games to play. We've got to play and I haven't played any of them. 2 are PS4/PS5 games and 1 is a PS4 only title, or can be played on the PS5 of course. And some of them I've actually been really actually one of them I've been really interested in playing. The others I've just, let's put it this way, kind of never knew they really existed in a sense. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I've played through the games for a bit. Some I've played more than others. Basically, I'm going to give my final thoughts of what I like and don't like on each game. And then at the end, I'll be giving a thumb score. My thumb score whether I think it's a good game, and a thumb score whether I think it's a good offering. And at the end, we'll give like an overall score for the month. Like, was it a decent, kind of collection of games we got for the month, and was it a decent offering? Was it worth our subscription to be getting? Because you can get a good game, but if it's like 8 years old, you're like, yeah, but we should have got this. Why are you giving this now? We should have got this ages ago. Really, this is something that everyone's got, really, type thing. Like, everyone bought this. Like, why are you giving it to us? Stuff like that. But anyway, let's jump in and start playing the first game. Now, our first title for August is Death's Door. Now, this was released in November 2021, so it's about a 20 or so month old title on release of the PS4, PS5. And you know what? This is one of those games that looks vaguely familiar, as you've probably saw a trailer or some footage ages ago before it came out, and never anything since then. I had no idea about this. I had released about, it's 20 months ago. I had just like been noticing it appearing on like my Amazon pages to look at, or like physical. So I don't know if they've just recently released a physical of it, but it's just been like appearing, and I'm looking at it going, oh, what is this? But I have to say, it has like it has nice visuals, very easy on the eye. It has a easy control scheme, so it's easy to jump in and die, as it has like a hint of like Dark Souls difficulty and gameplay to it. Dodge, roll, attack, dodge, roll, attack, dodge, roll, attack, that type thing, which doesn't bother me, but it's not on the same level, but it is a little bit like that. You can't just go swinging. You have to be a bit more kind of methodical to how you take on certain enemies. But I have to say, the problem I've been finding with this game is that it slowly becomes rather repetitive. Not in a totally good way, but I haven't got bored of it yet. It's not completely terribly repetitive, but it's not like a good way. It's like in that kind of middle thing. But its best feature, I would say, is like some of the character designs. My favourite is the pothead character, which you'll come across. But it is a fun experience with a modest runtime of like 9+ hours. And to me, but be honest, I would think it would best fit as something for you to like jump in for a bit in between major games you want to play. I also love the cover art there. If you have seen it, it's got great bit of art, but yeah, it's an easy control game. It is quite nice. You just go from these levels trying to kind of take out the simple puzzles. Really, there are simple puzzles, if you want to call them simple puzzles, but yeah, you just got to go around, follow your way to the correct end, and get through each of the stages, and you can go back when you've unlocked more abilities to kind of find extra things. You can upgrade your character, but yeah, it's an alright game. It's actually quite fun to play for a bit, and it's quite a nice little kind of in between game. It's something I probably won't play like all the way to the end. It's probably something like when I'm currently playing Final Fantasy 16. Like when I've probably finished that, I might jump in and just do a little bit of it, and then go on to something else, and then have it that kind of little filler gap when you kind of just want something quick and easy. You can just jump in and play for a little bit before you kind of jump into something else. But yeah, it's all right. And when you look at its Metacritic, there's no real Metacritic really. There's no PS4 score. There's no PS5 score. So it's a bit like okay. But when you look at its user scores, the PS4 sits at a 6.6 and the PS5 sits at a 7.3. So I can kind of get that. I see more of like the 6.5 type thing for this game, which isn't a terrible score. And people who think like, oh, 6 is a terrible... 6 is not a terrible score, really. It's not an amazing score, but it's still kind of quite fun. So, yeah, it's a bit strange that it hasn't got any actual kind of critic scores. Maybe the critic score is on the Xbox version, maybe, because it did come to the Xbox version first. So, that is a possibility, really, because it's like, oh well, we don't need to give scores for the other ones now because we've given it on the Xbox, and the Xbox One does have a Metacritic score, unlike the PlayStation ones, really. But yeah. Anyway, now my thumb scores. What would I give for my thumb scores? Well, as a game score, it is an alright game, really. It's a kind of has nice visuals. It's easy kind of jump into play. It has that kind of Dark Souls feeling. You will probably, it's up to you whether it's going to be your cup of tea, but it's something you can play for a bit and have a bit of fun. But I would give this a thumb in the middle. It's like a really strong thumb in the middle. It's like on the high part. I wouldn't give it like a 3/4 of a thumb up. So it's like it sticks there. It's that kind of like 5 to 6.5 type range for me. It's like a 6.5. I think the PS4 user score is like kind of fits perfectly for in my head when I look at it and how I play it. Now, as an offering score, well, I think this is a pretty good offering. Really, it's 20 months old. Really, it's a nice like indie type game. It's going to appeal to some people are going to like it, some people aren't going to like it. But I think it's a decent thing to give us where you can jump in and play it. It's not the best, but it is actually a pretty good offering. I feel like, so that's why I'm going to give it an offering score of a 3/4 of a thumb up, because I think it's a strong start, strong little kind of indie title for us, and I always feel like they should be that nice little indie title they give us. It doesn't have to be the best one, but it has to be like a really nice, decent giveaway. Only 20 months old, so not too young, not too old, half decent age. Not sure how many people have played it, but a lot of people can kind of get in and play it and then enjoy it. So yeah, 3/4 thumb up for Death's Door. Now our second title for August is Dreams from Media Molecule. Now this came out in February 2020, so it's about a bit over 3 years old, and this is a game I've looked at afar and wondered what it was. I saw some of the games that people made online, and I was super impressed. It's something you've kind of look at, and it's this whole game creation. You're like, oh wow, God, like how easy is this to do? But when you're actually trying it for the first time, you realise that you'll need to spend a lot of time and effort trying to create something that is remotely decent. B, you most likely suck, but that's okay. C, there are some very talented people out there. You have to say there's some amazing people out there. But yeah, this is like some really, really interesting kind of title that came out, and I'm not sure how well it's sold. I'm not too sure, but you can either spend hours upon hours creating something, or spend hours upon hours playing other people's creations. I played some terrible knockoff Mario game because it was there on the front, but then I played some like amazing like FPS, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ! This is such a great tool for wannabe devs that people are even getting hired. They're getting jobs with studios because of the stuff they've made on Dreams. You have to go through like tons of like tutorial videos, but it is for the best. And if you want to see like the full potential of this game, you really have to kind of really take in these tutorials, and you will probably have to redo them. The controls are a lot to take in and require a lot of like messing up, but they make it easy for you, by kind of going back, doing this and doing that, undoing this. They've tried to make it as simple, as easy as they possibly can. And, but there is such a community for this. You can like Google what you want, and you'll probably be able to find something that can help you outside of all the tutorials. The sad thing is the live service support for Dreams is ending next month. Like, it's just like, over 3 years, it'll be about 3.5 years old, and it's like, yeah, no more. I don't know why. Maybe because Dreams didn't sell enough, or they just kind of want to move on to something else. I don't know how big the team is at Media Molecule. They should have released this. This is something they should have released on PC, as it would have done like very well. You would have had even more amazing games that have been created. Even releasing a PS5 version would have like maybe helped boost things. Very sad. We received this so late, I think, in its life. But that doesn't mean, things will be taken away from it. It just means nothing will be added and probably fixed, from what I can tell. Interestingly, this also supports PSVR, which would actually be really, really interesting to see how that works, as I think that would really make it more immersive and give you some sort of like godlike complex of creating your project. It'd be interesting to see how that works, even if it had like PSVR 2 support, because that'd probably be actually even more better, but there isn't anything bad to say about this, apart from not trying to expand on this idea. I think that as Dreams as a whole, I think they've added this new train game that they've made on there, which you've got to have a little go. It's actually quite fun. The whole puzzle thing, it is actually quite good. That they've done themselves. That Tren is one of their own, Media Molecule's own creations. But they've actually got a country. It includes several games developed by Media Molecule itself. Okay, Artstream, Ancient Dangers, A Bat's Tale, A Long Climb Ago, several tutorials, mini games, and the upcoming trends on there. So I need to check these ones. I didn't check those out. I didn't know they were on there, but I will check this out. This is something I'm definitely going to hold on to and probably give it a try. But you have to really spend a lot of time with it. You can make really amazing looking games on here, because just by going onto the user created content, it's actually quite stunning what some people have been able to do. You're like, oh wow, this is just like on PS4, some game creation thing. There was that little game Garage Builder that was on the Switch, which I do, and I haven't even got around to even trying it really, which sounds it was something I found really interesting, because oh yeah, cool, that'd be a bit of fun. Never got around to playing it. It's something I do want to get into. But Dreams is something I've always wanted to play, and it's a shame that it's taken so long for it to get to us, because it kind of, when you look at the date it came out, you're like, oh wow, this was literally, it was the month my oldest was born, and it was just before COVID kind of kicked in, and it's like, oh wow. But when you look at its Metacritic score, you can just see it was very well received by the critics, giving it's got an 89, and it's got a user score of 8.7. And you know what? I can fully understand that, see that, really. And I think if it was reviewed later, I think you could easily kind of go this into the nines because of this tool you've got. And Yeah, I hope they just don't abandon this tool. I know they're kind of technically abandoning dreams, but I hope they kind of do something else with it because it would be such a shame for them not to expand on it. It really, really, really would be. Um, but we should go to my thumb scores. What would I say my thumb scores? Well, as a game score, I feel like I'm tossing up really. It's a really good game. It looks nice. It's something you have to really get a grip to. But what you can do on it is actually quite astonishing. And there's a lot of rubbish stuff that people have made, but there is some super interesting stuff, and you have to really do a deep dive and having a look of what has been played. And I'm stuck between a three-quarter of a thumb up and a whole thumb up between this game. Like I don't know what I should be giving it, but I feel like I'm just gonna go with my initial gut and kind of go with a three-quarter of a thumb up for Dreams. I'm probably gonna regret it. Probably should be a full thumb up uh, as a game score, but we're just gonna go with a three-quarter of a thumb up. Um, you know what? Screw it. I'm changing it. We're gonna go for a full thumb up for Dreams. I think it's that much of a special game that people really need to kind of actually try this, because I think a lot of people could actually uh, open their artistic mind to it. You just got to get through the tutorials and understand how and what things can do, because it's a lot to take in. Yeah, I'm going to give a full thumb up for my game score for Dreams, because I feel like it's worth every angle. It's there. Now my offering score. What do I give it? Well, it is a three, nearly three and a half. It'd be about three. It's about 3.5 years old. It's about to end its live service support. I feel like this is probably something that we should have probably got a year and a half ago. You should have probably got it, released 18 months after it was released, or something like that. That's how I feel like we should have got this back in 2022. Even early. I feel like it should have just given this to people. Really, I don't think they did enough, and this is another thing where I'm tossed like it should be a low because it's at the point it's an old game, but I feel like this is such an actually interesting title they've given us, and they've unfortunately given it us at the like technically at the end of its life cycle. But I'm just gonna go middle of the road. I'm gonna go with a thumb in the middle for the offering score. Really, I could have probably easily gone with a quarter of a thumb up, which I probably should do, but I find this is something that I think like everyone should try really and have a go and see what you are capable of, but also just to see how good some people are and what they've actually been able to do on a PS4 game, really, of creating a game, really, whereas a level, whatever it may be, on a PS4 game, on a PS4 title, on this tool, really, because that's what it is. It's a tool. It's not really a game. It's a tool wrapped up in a game. So it's just very interesting how what Medium Molecule have done, and it'd be interesting to see what Medium Molecule do in the future, and if they do try bring dreams back in or some sort of new dream or whatever it may be. It would be interesting because it would be a shame for this to just end where it is. Now on to our last title for August, and we've got PGA Tour 2K23, which came out in October 2022. And all I've got to say is, great, another sports game that is soon to be out of date within the next 2 months. And I have a little rant here. I don't understand what they're doing with the PGA license now. We have PGA Tour 2K23 by 2K that came out in October last year, with a new edition due out this October. Then a few months ago, we have PGA Tour from EA. It's like EA releasing FIFA, then 2 months later, Konami releasing their PES game, well, what used to be PES, with a FIFA name attached to it. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. You're having multiple PGA licensed games out there. It's super confusing to consumers. But anyway, rant over. And when playing PGA 2K23, it oozes everything wrong with NBA 2K23. They've made playing the game boring as hell. The last golf game I played, which I found super enjoyable, was Links on the original Xbox. Which is funny because when I played NBA 2K23, and in the video, I did say Inside the Drive on the OG Xbox was the last like really enjoyable basketball game I played. And what does that tell you? Microsoft should get back into making sports games. It's a massive L that none of their sports games are backwards compatible on their machines. I'll probably be the only person who would play it, but these should be playable today on the new machines because they are Microsoft published games. I don't understand why. I don't get it. But with this, there are basically two control styles. There's a 3-click where you've just basically got to kind of hold the button to get your power and then press the button twice to kind of get your angle right, really. And then you've got the stick swing. I can say I don't really find either like that fun to use. They don't feel like they've been like well done. Like from playing like Everybody's Golf on the PS4 and even the PS1 version, they are just way more fun to play with their control styles. And they feel like much simpler and easier to control. But I'll be mainly just using the 3-click one because the stick swing one is just annoying to use. And also the great thing, unlike NBA 2K23, they haven't stuck some boring, unneeded story mode which makes you fall asleep every 5 minutes. They knew golf makes people fall asleep, so they dodged a bit by not going with a story mode which will make you go to sleep even more. Though I've moaned about this game, it kind of still is enjoyable to play for a little bit, but anything more than 45 minutes you start to question what you're doing with your life. They've missed the trick by not adding more like fun arcade modes, like a mini golf mode, which would have really made this more of a fun experience playing by yourself with friends or even randoms online. They have like one mini game which is kind of fun for a little bit, but then it's just not enough. Graphically, this is not impressive and is rather dull to look at. I don't know why they just can't make it look amazing. Yeah, I know. Why not? So what's so hard about it? Just make it look the bee's knees. But there's a decent selection of about 25 courses and just a ton of user-created courses. But it gets kind of messy when trying to play around, when you're trying to do like a single round, and the search filter function isn't great. They should just give you an option of like the standard ones that come with it, and then an option to look at the user-created ones. It kind of all gets like jumbled in together when I was trying to do it, so it's like, ugh. But one of the kind of biggest problems with this game is that it basically requires you to be online to play the career part, which is insane and just plain stupid. Really, I do not get it. I think it's just a way of them to try push you to or you get in-game currency and you got to be this. I don't know. It's stupid. It's so stupid why you have to be online to play the career part, even when you're not playing like online against people. It's dumb. And the constant ads to purchase items to make you buy in-game currency when you come in and out of menus gets annoying straight away. It's like, oh God, really? But it's not a terrible game. It's just not a really good game, really, with the designs. Like, it plays well. What it does well, but the whole experience is a terrible golfing experience. It really is. And when you look at its Metacritic, it's got no PS4 score. Its PS5 Metacritic sits at a 76, where I'm like, oh, Jesus. But when you look at its user scores, the PS4, it's got a 6, and on the PS5, it's got a 4.6. And you know what? I can understand with the 4.6, and that is, I would say that's like massively down to the online only career. It's crazy. It's I don't know why people are doing that. It's like, why for this game? I don't get it. Why? Why does it need to be online for you to play the career mode? It's dum da dum dum dum. Yeah, and the choices of uh, modern gaming companies is crazy. But you know, I've said my piece, so I should give my thumb scores on PGA Tour 2K23. So what will be my thumb scores? Well, my game score, well, it plays okay, but there's so many things not right with it. That's the thing. It plays okay, but you play over a certain amount, and then you're like, no more. It becomes unfun. There's so many. There's no like tons. There's not like loads of bugs. I haven't had like experienced any bugs. It's just the actual experience they've made isn't a good experience. Really, they should have done a lot more of fleshing out, getting rid of that online required doo doo, and I just don't understand. So I'm going to go with a thumb score for the thumb score for the game score. It's going to be a quarter of a thumb up. I'm not going to go full down because it's still play. It's not a terrible game. It's just a poorly implemented and a poor experience for golf. There's much better golf experiences out there. There is. As an offering score, what would my thumb? Where would my thumb sit? Well, it's a sports game. It's about to be made redundant in 2 months, and I hate it when they do that. I hate it when they do that. I don't think we've got a golf game in the past, so this might be the first golf game that I remember getting on PS Plus. Don't remember. If you're into golf, yeah, but you know what? As the main game for the month, you know, leading it, it's a very poor one. I was gonna go with give it a quarter of heart, but I've kind of changed my mind with the kind of whole online required, the constant like chucking you ads. You know, literally, it's about to be kind of redundant. Really, it's going to be like, oh, no more need for this. So I'm going to go with a thumb down for it. It's not a good offering, really. Do better. I probably would prefer to get PGA Tour by EA. I don't know what that's like, but it can't be as bad as this as an experience. But I have to reiterate, it's not a terrible game. It actually plays all right, but it's just not a great experience for golf. Not a great experience. Now we've played through all the games for August. I've given all my thumb scores for each one, so we should kind of give an overall score for August. How well did Sony perform? Well. So we started off the month with Death's Door. Interesting game, quite fun. Has a bit of difficulty to it, but it will get a little bit tougher as you go progress. I gave that a game score as a thumb in the middle and an offering score of 3/4 thumb up. Next up, we had the Dreams, the game creation tool, something that we should have got quite a while ago. We got it a bit late for me personally. I gave that a thumb score for as a full thumb up for its game score, and then its offering score I gave it a thumb in the middle because we should probably got this 18 months ago. I feel like. And then to cap off the month, we had PGA Tour 2K23. Now, another sports game that's about to be kind of out of date. Very annoying. gave that a game score of a quarter of a thumb up and an offering score of a thumb down. Because you know the whole online only and all that stuff, not good, not good at all. And well, what do we do overall for the month? August. How was it? Well, it it was good and it wasn't good. That's the thing. It's kind of, you know, there was something in the middle, there was something a little bit up, and there was something a little bit down, up, down, this and that. So it's actually, you know, I think overall game score, I would go with as a thumb in the middle. I think overall, it's a mid month really. You know, PGA did not help this month at all. That was not a good game to be leading forefront for the month. Not good at all. But I think kind of Dream slightly saved this month from being like a terrible disaster of actual quality games. Overall offering score. This one I'm not sure about my score. I'm kind of tempted to go a bit lower, but I'm tempted to give a little benefit of the doubt because maybe I was slightly too harsh with PGA Tour, but I'm sticking with it. I'm going to give an overall score of a thumb in the middle. You know, Death Store, I think it's a good offering. It's an all right game, but it's a decent offering. Dreams, very good offering. If it was 18 months ago, this would have been a full thumb up, three-quarter thumb up for that offering. But because it's so late, and it's still a good offering. It's something that people need to play. I feel like it's got so much potential. And then the terrible offering of PGA Tour. Yeah, just gonna go with a thumb in the middle for it, just to keep things at it is a mid month, some good, some poor. Hopefully, I was tempted to give a quarter of a thumb up, but because of Dreams and Death Star, I thought, yeah. And when I was kind of doing averages, it was a little bit under, but it wasn't like fully to a quarter. So I'm just trying to keep it. It was more closer to a thumb in the middle when I was trying to work out the averages. But we'll just do that. But anyway, that's it. August done. All games played, all games critiqued and scored. Anyway, please let me know in the comments what games you liked this month, what you didn't like, what you hope for us to get in the future. Please like and subscribe to the channel. That would be excellent. Until next time, I shall see you soon. Have fun playing some